Shame doesn't always look loud. It doesn't scream. It whispers. And what it says is this: you're not enough. You're too much. You're unlovable. Shame shows up in our relationships not as words, but as withdrawal, avoidance, silence, and distance. It keeps us from reaching out. It tells us to hide, just in case love is no longer safe. Shame is often planted in us long before our marriage begins. It grows from childhood moments, being scolded for crying, being ignored when afraid, being told to toughen up. And we carry those wounds into adulthood. In marriage, those old wounds are easily touched. A simple disagreement can feel like rejection. A small criticism can trigger deep unworthiness. Not because our partner is cruel, but because shame already lives in us. And love, when it gets close, touches that bruise. Shame changes the way we love. It convinces us we have to perform to be accepted, that we have to hide parts of ourselves just to keep peace. It turns love into a transaction. If I'm good enough, I'll be loved. If I mess up, I'll be left. And so we never fully relax. We stay alert, self-protecting, always scanning. But love can't grow where shame is in charge, because shame doesn't let us be seen. Shame often shows up during conflict, not as shouting, but as shutting down. One partner withdraws, the other chases. Both feel unheard. Both feel unsafe. The silent partner may seem cold, but inside, they're overwhelmed. The louder partner may seem critical, but they're desperately trying to reconnect. Shame drives both to protect themselves instead of reaching for each other. When we feel shame, we hide. Not just physically, but emotionally. We become sarcastic, defensive, distant. We may act like we don't care, but inside, we're afraid we don't belong. Pause. Some people turn cold, others try harder to please, but both are trying to escape the same fear. If you see the real me, you'll leave. Here's the truth. You are not your shame. Shame is a message you internalized, not a fact about who you are. You may have learned, early on, that love must be earned, that affection disappears when you fail, that being vulnerable means being hurt. But those are lessons, not truths. You are still worthy, still lovable, still capable of deep connection, even with your shame, especially with your shame. Shame rarely exists in one person. It becomes a cycle between two people. One person says something they didn't mean. The other takes it personally, then shuts down. Silence grows. Resentment builds. Then one explodes. The other retreats. Both feel disconnected. Both feel misunderstood. But underneath the anger is shame, and a longing to feel safe again. Shame makes even simple conversations feel dangerous. A request becomes a threat. A pause feels like rejection. A mistake turns into a full-blown identity crisis. Instead of hearing, "I need more time with you," we hear, "I'm not enough." Instead of, "That hurt me," we hear, "I'm a failure." And once shame enters the conversation, we stop listening and start protecting. Real connection requires being seen. But shame tells us to hide, to cover the parts we're afraid are too messy, too emotional, too insecure. And when we hide, even if our partner loves us, we don't feel it. Because they're loving only the parts we're showing. The fear is, if they saw all of me, they'd walk away. But the truth is, no one can truly love you unless they can truly see you. Shame doesn't disappear through logic. It doesn't respond to lectures. It responds to one thing: compassion. When someone is drowning in shame, they don't need correction. They need connection. A look that says, "I see you and I'm not leaving." A voice that says, "It's okay to not be okay." This is how shame begins to loosen its grip. Shame tells you, You're the problem. You always ruin things. But healing begins when you question that voice. What if the truth is, I made a mistake, but I'm still worthy? What if it's, I reacted from fear, but I can repair? Changing that message inside doesn't happen overnight, but every time you respond to shame with kindness, you're rewiring the way you love. When your partner is caught in shame, don't try to fix it. Don't rush to logic. Don't say, you shouldn't feel that way. Instead, try, that must be so heavy. You don't have to go through that alone. Thanks for sharing that with me. These words don't erase shame instantly, but they create the one thing shame can't survive in: empathy. You don't need to heal your partner's shame. You just need to be the kind of person who doesn't add to it. That means you don't mock their sensitivity. You don't weaponize their past. You don't walk away when they're at their lowest. Being a safe place doesn't mean being perfect. It means being consistent, being present. That's how trust grows, and shame slowly begins to fade. The goal isn't to erase shame. It's to stop letting it control the relationship. You can feel shame and still choose honesty. You can feel fear and still stay present. You can feel exposed and still be worthy of love. Healing begins the moment you stop hiding, even just a little. And when your partner responds with gentleness, a new story begins to form. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is stay emotionally present, even when shame tells you to run. To say, I feel unworthy right now, but I'm here. To let someone see your fear without covering it in anger or perfection. That kind of courage doesn't just change relationships, it changes lives. This is the truth shame never wants you to hear. You are worthy of love, even when you feel broken. You are not too much. You are not too little. You are not the worst thing you've done. You are human, and that is enough. The more you let yourself be seen, the more connection becomes possible. Shame grows in silence, but healing grows in safe connection. Thank you for joining me for episode 4. In our next episode, we'll explore how early attachment wounds affect adult relationships, and why so many of us chase love while fearing closeness at the same time. Until then, be gentle with yourself, and be the safety you wish you had.